Welcome to the Making of YOR, a podcast where we turn ideas into game mechanics for our upcoming tabletop RPG, YOR. If you'd like to stay up to date on the developments of YOR, head over to our Discord. Link is in the description. Alrighty, time to do episode 9.
Howdy, everybody.
We, I think, brought up commoner feats in the last one a little bit.
We talked a little bit about them.
The concept of it. So we'll work on commoner feats today and regular feats.
Bet.
All right. So commoner feats, they are a way to spice up your typical commoner to make it either more interesting just as an NPC that you would interact with.
Yeah.
That would create maybe a little bit of unpredictability with.
Yeah. Well, it also would explain why villages aren't full of tier 3 adventurers, because they can make X tier of weapons and armor.
Exactly. Because you can't always just say this is a retired adventurer.
Yeah. There's not that many of them. Frequently, adventurers do not retire. They simply die.
Yeah, and if you were going to be a successful adventurer and retire, you'd think you had like a kingdom.
Or at least money to live somewhere that's not a shithole.
Yeah, why are you?
Why are you in this hamlet of 32 people?
Yeah, so commoner feats existing as a way to flesh out simple characters, simple NPCs
without giving them PC levels of power.
Yeah, and so you don't even have to put a ton of work into those characters, like coming up with whatever that would actually give them some kind of template. It's just cool. This is a commoner and he's good at being a blacksmith. So
he's tier 2 blacksmith proficiency.
Yeah.
And because he's got an epic boon master blacksmith, he's a tier 3 blacksmith, even though he's still technically a level 0 commoner.
Yeah. So we can flux with these things to create some, but it means that if you are like some type of noble, you've gotten the nobility boon or something like that.
Yeah.
You can advance your commoners by getting them certain types of training so that they can be like a warrior militia type thing.
Yeah, guards get weapons and armor proficiency, stuff like that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool flavor and functionality.
Yeah.
Customization. Things that aren't you, the player.
Yeah. Like, town militia gives you extra HP and spear proficiency at tier 2. Town guard gives you armor proficiency and mace proficiency.
So commoner feat, militia training.
Yeah.
What should we give that?
Tier 2 spear proficiency.
I like it. Cool. Blacksmith.
All right. You probably have tier 2 proficiency in blacksmithing for non-magical. Honestly, you could probably just have that for any of the profession classes or professions.
I think that's probably a tier 2 proficiency in skill for non-magical.
Yeah. Well, I'd say profession, because that'll be good for because those are all like more in-depth but narrow scope jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're a potter or a blacksmith or a tailor or a merchant or whatever, you can take the profession commoner feat or professional commoner feat, and you are treated as tier 2 in that profession.
So instead of it's a profession for like a player, you're a professional.
Yeah, you're a professional.
All right, what else we got?
Probably town guard. You get tier 2 weapon proficiency and tier 2 armor proficiency as long as you're in the town you're guarding.
Well, maybe it should just be guard, because it could be a town, but it could be a caravan guard too.
Yeah,
I guess,
it could
right?
be, yeah, as long as you're on the job. but I think it only works while you're like doing that thing.
Do we want to have an HP buff on that one as well?
Sure, we can make it a little bit better than militia. So it's got the same maybe 5 or 10 HP, but it's also got the armor proficiency.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you get any weapon.
Yeah, any weapon other than instead of just spear.
Yeah.
But again, limited to protecting thing.
Yeah.
And I think that would also explain why, like, city guards are useful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not just regular commoners. They're like pretty serious so long as they're actually doing the guard job.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how to phrase that. Like, is it that they would lose those stats when they're not actively on duty?
You can just say when they're on duty, yeah.
That's an interesting concept.
That's a good binary, like off duty, on duty for a DM to think of.
Yeah. That's an interesting concept to play with.
Yeah.
Tier 2 weapon and armor proficiency plus 10 HP when on duty. All right. Militia training, professional, guard. What are some other good? And professionals obviously covering a lot of things.
Yeah. Jobs do we have in like mayor?
A mayor?
Yeah. I don't know what it does.
Oh, well, instead of a profession, so not mayor, but we could have
politician.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm thinking like what might be if you were to have unions.
Yeah.
You'd have a union leader or something.
Yeah.
So basically it would be a person with proficiency in the influence skill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a politician, proficiency in influence and deception.
I think deception is in influence.
Oh, is it influence? All right,
Yeah.
cool. So just the influence skill.
Yeah, I think we placed that all there, and subterfuge handles.
Oh, yeah, that's...
I'll go up and check real quick. Yeah, subterfuge is disguise, forgery, stealth in the context of being conspicuous,
yeah,
code breaking, and imitation. And then influence is persuasion, intimidation. You said lying. So
yeah, deception. Cool. So yeah, influence.
Oh, I guess politician's the right thing to put, but it's basically like it could be any, like it could be a town leader, it could be a mayor, it could be a union leader.
Yeah, some kind of leadership.
Yeah.
Feat.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna just put politician.
Yeah.
Some of these I don't want to go.
I mean, I feel like it's funny if we make that one politician anyway.
Yeah, I think we should do that. But some of these, beyond these, I think a lot of times, if we get too specific, well, then that should just be a custom built in.
Yeah.
If you're going to get specific,
if this couldn't be on anybody, it needs to be custom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that. Politician. What's he good at? Being skeezy.
And then we need one for like a thief.
Oh, street rat.
What was that background that exists in 5e for
urchin?
Urchin.
Yeah. I like street rat because of Aladdin.
All right.
It gives you
yeah, street rat could have
some pickpocketing,
Well, I
Begging.
figure street lore tier 1.
Subterfuge tier 1.
Yeah, so we have sleight of hand is under finesse instead of subterfuge.
Okay, so yeah, finesse and
Street lore.
tier 1 of each.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's street lore and either some finesse or subterfuge.
Okay.
You pick which one you want, depending on what kind of street rat you are.
Tier 1 of them?
Yeah. The commoner feats don't really have to be balanced against each other because they're mostly for NPCs.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you're getting 2 at tier 1 instead of 1 at tier 2.
Yeah.
They're 2 at tier 2. They're all probably going to have, if we'll set varied requirements. If you were going to try and train someone in these, like training someone to probably be a guard takes longer than.
Yeah, it's more investment.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good way to time into the economy, as we put a gold cost next to all the feats, and that's how much it costs to get trained for that feat.
That's interesting. You mean for any feat?
Yeah, we could do it for any feat, and the commoner feats are cheaper because not everybody can take them. But
yeah, because commoner feats are. A player can't take them unless for some reason you
start at tier 0 and are doing dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
They want that OSR experience.
Yeah, if they want to do that, then I mean it won't be horribly unbalanced or anything. All the players will be fairly balanced.
Yeah, because they'll all be equally terrible.
Yeah. So it's probably not a big deal. But as soon as you reach tier 1,
you're an adventurer now.
Yeah, you're stronger than any of these anyway.
Hey.
So,
yeah, it's a tier 1 adventure is kind of like Captain America.
Yeah.
Minus the skill.
Yeah. A little less durability than Captain America. But commoners don't heal at the end of combat.
No. Commoners die like dogs in the street.
Yeah, commoners can't get wounds.
No, commoners have 1 HP.
Yeah, if we end up, we out of game, we had, or out of game, off podcast, we had talked about another concept for tracking HP.
Yeah. Which we're still thinking about.
Yeah, whether or not it's a
good idea.
Yet
another cool idea that may not work.
Yeah, we'll have to, I think that will be something we'll have to test as we get further into tier 2 and tier 3.
How to make sure HP scales correctly.
Yeah, because otherwise,
But at tier 1, where everybody's got between 6 and 10.
Yeah, I like the way wounds work currently. Mm-hmm. So,
we don't want to break that if we don't have to.
Yeah, I do really enjoy the concept of a wound and the concept of just your HP reaches 0. And then you wake up with a wound after combat.
Yeah, it's you got hurt.
I think it is simple, but it encapsulates. Yeah,
you got hurt bad, and then you died.
Yeah, exactly. I think it captures truthiness without being too weighty or extra numbers to track.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got a -1 to all physical abilities checks, and I got disadvantage on mental ability checks now because I got an extra one, and I'm just fully in the death spiral now.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's probably all we need to do right now for commoner feat.
Yeah, it's everybody. That'll take care of all the named NPCs we need for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that covers a lot of the concept. And if you need to go deeper than that, then you should probably just build a custom NPC.
Yeah. Which should be easy.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know. We haven't built any yet.
We've got quite a few feats right now. We've got I know a guy.
Oh yeah.
+1 to damage rolls, +1 spell damage rolls, HP. We got a bunch more.
Yeah.
Got a pretty long list here. There's a couple we haven't defined.
Okay.
But we've got some base feats.
Let's see. Have I written anything down? Oh, Fling Ally. Have we got that one yet?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We got it requires a minimum strength. We don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
And you can use your quick action to throw a willing adjacent ally.
All right.
And you don't require a clinch. So it's action economy big time. You skip one action economy step and you can do it as a quick action instead of an action.
Yeah, get that halfling over there. Stat.
Yeah. We've made a couple. We have like one for mages, one for barbarians.
Okay.
So we could make some for other classes.
Yeah. At tier 1, we need one for each. We need one for fighter or warrior or whatever the hell we call them.
We only have one for magus, actually. For tier 1 then.
Okay.
So we still need 3 more then.
Okay, so Mystic. What's a cool thing for Mystic to be able to do?
I would imagine some kind of low tier like divination.
Oh yeah,
type thing.
Like a. If you come to a fork in the road, take it is what I'm thinking. Divine weather, the weather patterns for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, what we have for Magus is mages don't walk.
Yeah, a wizard does not walk. Out of combat, you can hover over the ground.
Yeah. So it's probably has some benefit, but is really...
Yeah, it just flavor more than anything.
Yeah. And maybe that's the same case with all of them if we want to have a...
Yeah. I do like you can tell what the weather is.
Okay.
That'd be incredibly useful. Especially before the advent of television and radio.
Meteorologist.
Yep. Weather boy.
So meteorologist requires Mystic, knows the weather patterns one day in advance.
Yep, perfect. All right.
Fighter.
Yeah. Iron Stomach.
I like that. Let's do that one.
Cool. Yeah. It can't eat anything not poisonous for food.
Yeah, we have some other food rule. I think it's in the plant.
Oh, right. They can subsist on sunlight.
Yeah, we have subsist on sunlight, and orcs are bred for war and bred for war.
Yeah. Yeah, they have reduced caloric needs.
Yeah, I think theirs is they can eat any organic material.
Yeah. We may actually go and change that one to where they can survive on reduced rations for longer.
Yeah, okay.
Like they just don't need as much to eat. So that way when they take this, they don't have to eat as much and they can eat anything.
Yeah. So the fighter is that they, it could be, yeah, I don't know how we want to phrase this because it's obviously it basically a type of advantage related to your constitution or your toughness or whatever we call it.
Well, I'm just thinking it's more like it's easier to feed you. So like the ranger doesn't have to go out and hunt down for rabbits and berries for a team of fighters. He has to go get like tree bark and grubs and stuff.
So fighter is, how do we want to phrase it then?
I think if we just put cast iron stomach, you can subsist on any non-poisonous organic material. And then we can flavor that in legalese once we have more like food systems set up. But that'll tell us everything we want to know about it, I think.
Okay.
And then thief.
Expert.
That might be I know a guy.
All right.
That feels on brand for them, right?
Yep. Do we want to set so the I know a guy is going to be if you're in a town or something like that.
Yeah.
Do we want to is there some type of limitation on what that means? Like not every little hamlet or town, but maybe it's like in any city.
It's any tier 2 urban area or higher.
Okay.
At least one person. Yeah, you have a contact in any tier 2 settlement or higher. Or maybe, tier 2 feels right for now.
Yeah, because I figured tier 0 is going to be like
the hamlet, a thorpe, something like that. Some tiny little...
like something that would be a community of a few people.
Yeah.
Like
it's like 3 families live here.
Yeah.
Like the 2 Rivers area or...
Yeah, real small farm type of thing. That's a tier 0. A tier 1 is like a town that would have maybe they might have a bar. They might have a shop or 2.
They've got people who only live in town and like make their money off of industry in town and
something small, but like a trade
hub or something.
Like a small little, not necessarily a trading post in the sense of a trading post.
That'd be a tier 0.
That'd be a tier 0 too, would be a trading post. But yeah, anything that would be your typical Wild West town.
Yeah.
That has like a tavern and a sheriff.
Frontier town, not a lot. They've got some civil infrastructure, stuff like that. But
that's it. There's
maybe 100 people there.
Yeah. And then tier 2 is the beginnings of tier 2 might actually, I don't know if it'll require walls. Probably tier 3 requires walls.
Yeah. Well, walls may be more of like a fortification or whatever. But like if a city has walls, it's probably a tier 3 or it's a fort masquerading as a town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's
a city that has walls.
Yeah, tier 0 outpost, tier 1 village, tier 2 town, tier 3 city, tier 4 metropolis.
Yes, agreed. We'll put that somewhere.
Cool.
I haven't written that, but we'll okay. So that covers some of the base feats, and then we have some generic feats that has certain skill requirements. We should come up with probably a few more with skill requirements.
All right.
We've got poultice for wilderness, triage for medicine. We've got a memory, rune lore, knowledge lore. So look at skills.
Yeah, we'll look at those and come up with one for each.
So there would be subterfuge, influence, awareness, finesse, and athletics.
So let's see. Athletics, probably.
Well, we do have fling ally, which requires strength.
Oh, yeah, that could
be
athletics proficiency.
Yeah.
That feels good. Yeah.
Remove the strength requirement and it's athletic
proficiency. Yeah. You got to train that discus hurl.
Okay. So then, because we didn't have anything else that had a stat requirement.
Yeah.
So that maybe makes more sense.
Perfect. Awareness, that next?
Yeah, awareness. I think we also haven't done one.
Okay, we'll just work down the list. And
yep.
Awareness, reconnoiter, make a perception check as a quick action.
That's interesting. Yeah. Well,
Maybe
No, because expert already is going to be able to make.
do that already. Yeah, that's stepping on their toes. Maybe it's like an ambush awareness thing.
Oh, like alert.
Yeah, like always on edge or.
Well, and the way we have surprise mechanics in this game, it'd be really strong to have something that says you can't be surprised.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that, but something like you could notice an ambush before it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, everyone's going to be allowed to make an awareness check going into it. Like if an ambush were going to occur, everyone would get to make an awareness check.
Maybe it's like a gut feeling. It's just your DM gives you a good or bad.
Oh, yeah.
Because that'd be like a good thing for a DM to give them like a little clue. If they're like, oh, your gut's acting up. You don't know what you saw, but you saw something.
Interesting. Yeah, okay.
Gut feeling.
Right below iron stomach.
Yep. That chili burger influencing my thoughts.
Okay, so the only thing, before I proceed with that, the only thing about gut feeling that that I'm uncertain of is the feat is putting the onus on the DM to use it. Like most of the time, like things we're crafting here, a player chooses when to use it.
Yeah.
And this is a feat that now you have to...
Well, it could also be like the player can just ask the DM, what's my gut feeling?
Okay. And I guess if we design it that way, and then the DM could use it if they wanted to. But I wouldn't want the usefulness of the feat to be seated in the DM has to remember you have this feat.
Yeah. And it may be like too crazy. We have to come up with something different. But it feels cool to be like, I'm going to go with my gut on this one.
Yeah. It's like... It's like divination, but not.
But not, yeah. Like a low-level divination spell.
Yeah. Do they roll?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just a thing that they can do. It's like, hey, what's my gut telling me?
Yeah, I guess the thing on that becomes, is that always getting true information for free?
Or so that's the thing, though, is you're getting information, just no specific information. Is it a trap? Is it a secret door? Is it an invisible guy? All you know is there's something here you didn't notice.
Okay. All right. I'm interested in it.
It feels like because there's a spell like that in D&D where it's like you get wheel or woe for the next hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are the things I'm going to do good or bad?
Yeah.
And it's got like a spell cost to it, but it's clearly not a broken concept in D&D. So
sure,
I don't know if it's too bad if we do it.
Yeah, no, I'm not against it. I was just trying to think of it in the spot we're putting it and then functionally comparing it to the other things in that spot if that just makes sense for its design place.
Yeah. Well, because especially not with a roll or anything, because none of the other ones have a roll. They're just a thing you can do.
Yes.
Well, like for Fling Ally, you probably have to roll to hit the thing with the ally, but you don't have to roll to throw them.
No, this is true. This is true. Well, but triage and poultice are both going to require checks.
Oh, are they? I don't remember what those are, I guess.
The triage is you can make a check to heal a wound.
Oh, right.
And then the poultice is, I don't know if we talked about having a check with poultice, but you can make a poultice that would allow you to ignore the negative effects of a wound.
Yeah.
Until the long rest. We may not have a check for it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I like just being able to ask your DM, or the DM can feed you information.
Yeah.
Because I like those back channel-y kind of feats.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. Well, definitely. I'll throw it in there. We'll work with it.
Yeah. Because, we've all been there. You trying to run an investigation and they miss the clue. And you're like, man, I wish I had a way to tell you missed something.
Yeah.
Really obvious.
An old gut feeling.
Yep. Now your gut's acting up. You missed something.
I have no proficiency with investigation, but I have the gut feeling feat.
Yep. So what am I getting? Do I feel like we missed something here?
Yeah. So it's the difference between it's like your Peralta
Yeah.
from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine.
I got a gut feeling.
I go with my gut.
Okay, so finesse.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, not the full, not D&D prestidigitation.
Yeah, no, the actual word meaning of like small illusionary trick.
Card trick.
Yeah, card trick. Called an illusion. Tricks are what whores do for money.
All right. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, we have that falling under finesse anyway. That's what finesse does. You could do that with a finesse check. So,
yeah.
And I mean, if like, it's not really giving you something you couldn't do, it would just be saying you're better at a thing that someone else could do.
Because what's under finesse? Sleight of hand.
Yeah, I was just thinking of a weird, like, improvised weapon thing.
Oh, yeah.
But so finesse is, it's agility and reason are the two stats for it. It's lockpicking, trap disarming, sleight of hand, playing instruments, and the sneaky kind of stealth.
Okay.
Do we have musician as a profession? I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
We may have to put bard might have to be a profession.
Yeah, we may have bard as a profession instead. I haven't thought about putting it there before. It could work.
I mean, in essence, it sort of was.
Yeah, it is kind of a job.
It is kind of a job.
You do. I go around and beg people for money for music.
Yeah. They started thinking of, well, what about like a musician's expert type feat?
Yeah.
And then I started thinking of like, well, that's a bard, but should bard just be a profession?
Yeah. You may be onto something there. I'll have to think about that, but I'm not say no to it immediately. That does sound pretty good. Because we talked about being like a boon class.
We did. And we talked about
if it works better as a profession.
Well, and we were talking about making bards not like spellcasters that are like wizards.
Yeah, which, I mean, D&D does that, but I don't think that means it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, bards are still like 9th level casters. So they're straight up magic users.
Yeah, they're
like high level magic users.
Yeah, they're kind of shittier wizards who can do more stuff.
Yeah, they're utilitarian, but then they have incredibly powerful magic.
Yeah.
And I feel like
best class in Baldur's Gate 3. You heard it here.
Yeah. When you look at them as they level, it's like wizards, you totally get their power.
Mm-hmm.
Sorcerers, you totally get their power. Warlocks, you totally get where they're getting their power.
Yeah.
Bards, it's pretty flimsy.
Yeah, look how cool I am. I know so much stuff. I can throw lightning bolts.
Yeah, my opinion is the bard explanation for how do you cast 9th level spells like these other guys is pretty flimsy.
Yeah, I play music that literally warps the fabric of reality. This feels way more intense.
Yeah, this feels like the rest of D&D exists in a fantasy world and bard is in an anime.
These are true facts.
This is it feels thematically a little off brand. And bards are cool or whatever, but I do like the idea of us removing them from the normal cast progression.
They're not a class, they're a job.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll make them a boon, but I like the idea of them as a profession.
Yeah.
And then there are boons, just like we plan on having boons related to certain professions.
Oh, we may have artist as a profession. That may be what a bard would be. Mm-hmm. Somebody with the artist profession in the bard boon class.
Yeah, okay. You have to have the artist profession, and then you could get the bard boon class.
Yeah, not every musician can become a bard, but bards are always musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Or orators or something.
Yeah, they have the artist profession.
Yeah.
Okay, back to
finesse. Maybe they're better at aiding.
Okay.
Maybe they get a plus or -2. Maybe they get a -2 to aid instead of a -1.
Oh, okay.
Because they're just better at being helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And their 2 stats are agility and reason,
Yeah.
which are 2 stats that are good for
aiding.
Yeah, being a helper.
Yeah, it's like, I don't have to figure this out. I just have to figure out what I can do to help you.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's we'll go with that for now.
All right,
and we'll
cool.
see if that ends up feeling like
too good,
imbalance compared to the rest.
Yeah.
Or if we
Well,
need to
also
adjust,
finesse may not be. We may be able to balance these out. But like if the stats feel a little out of whack, because finesse feels a little weaker than some of the other ones, and having a better feat to go along with it may take some of the sting out of that.
Yeah, that is an interesting balance level. And this concept, it gives us, we have a lot of freedom to add more of these types of feats that have skill requirements. Okay. We could even have this as a growing feat chain.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you have to have a gut feeling or iron stomach or whatever. And then there's another one you can get after that.
Cauldron belly.
Yeah. You get a swallow hole attack.
Yeah, I know, man. That'd be cool. That may happen, folks.
Okay. So, what do we want to call this aid?
Helping
hand.
Yeah, that's what.
That's what. Well, and also I think because the way that we've been talking about the like aiding someone, it's not just you say I aid, and they get advantage. It is if you're going to help someone do something, you have to explain some way that you're helping them.
Yeah.
And I know in many cases DMs do that kind of thing. But I think we plan on
having a bit more in-depth.
Yeah, we've talked about it being a little more in-depth, or if you're going to aid someone, maybe you have to roll some type of check.
Yeah.
We'll still have to figure some of that out.
Yeah, we're not exactly sure how it's going to work, but aid another is going to be a thing.
Yeah, and I can wait to fill this out. It's just helping hand is when you aid an ally on a check, it causes additional benefit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that for now. And once we figure out the structure, we can
figure out exactly how strong we need that to be.
Yeah. All right. That's finesse out of the way. We got athletics, finesse, awareness, influence, subterfuge, and street. I think street lore.
All right. Gray man. You can retry any check you make to remain unnoticed.
Could be that. So we have the learn a language and language savant.
Yeah.
We could also we could do something that has to do with accents or like a blend in.
Okay, yeah, like many voices kind of
like something to where you can pass yourself off as a local.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Okay, yeah, I like that. You can pass yourself off as a local of any area.
Yeah. We might have some kind of, or maybe that should be a higher tier. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about higher tier, but it feels like kind of like that was the same as like the prestidigitation was the same thing that finesse would let you do. I feel like subterfuge is what you'd roll in that situation anyway.
Yeah. No, you're right. It is. Yeah. I was thinking of just stealing it because that was what the mastermind.
Oh, right.
Subclass.
Yeah, they give you that alternate identity.
Yeah, type of thing.
Alternate identity is not bad.
Oh, you have a backed up identity.
Yeah, you just have another guy that you can pretend to be.
Okay, yes. You have a backed up or fleshed out alternate identity.
A false persona.
Yeah.
Alter ego. The superhero feat. The Clark Kent directive.
Okay, so alter ego requires subterfuge. You have a established second identity.
Yep.
we'll have to probably work on defining some of that.
Yeah.
But what it basically could mean is that if you say you are this person, it doesn't require a deception check.
Yeah. You are established as that. You know how that guy acts. You can
are
switch
both
back
people.
and forth. Yeah.
You are essentially
you lead
both
a double
people.
life.
Yeah. So you don't require a deception check when you say you're this other person.
Yeah.
It can mean more than that. If you're good at playing that thing, but it will functionally, it means that you're not rolling a deception check when you say you're this other person.
Yeah.
That's really cool too, because then that's subterfuge is stepping on influence a little bit, but in a very specific manner.
Yeah.
So if you're taking subterfuge as your thing, even though technically,
well, you can still pretend to be somebody else, but this guy you've got down pat.
Yeah,
it's always a tier 0 check for you, baby.
So you're not looking at an influence check when you go down this path.
Yeah.
You're just that guy. Doesn't require a check.
Oh, you're that guy.
Yep. All right, I like that.
Cool.
So now we still have to figure out influence and street lore.
Influence.
Ooh, we could steal a quote from I don't know what it does.
Yeah.
But we could like steal a quote from Rudyard Kipling.
Oh.
With his like walk with crowd, or it's a walk with kings or talk with crowds kind of thing.
Yeah. I was thinking like a gift giver.
Okay.
Like you are like you're good at giving people gifts to like get what you want out of them. Like you can spend X amount of gold to improve
quid pro quo.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like you can temporarily improve somebody's attitude by one step by spending X amount of gold.
Okay. Huh.
Not a bribe.
Not a bribe. I don't dislike it, but that also just feels kind of like role play, like naturally role play, like like you would do that no matter what. Yeah, like if you were gonna try and convince someone to do what you wanted, you might give them some
money.
Yeah,
I guess that probably is just a thing that's an influence anyway. Yeah, walk with crowds, talk with kings. I do like the equally at home in lowly taverns or noble courts.
Like I don't know. I don't know if that's a workable feat. But
maybe you're not disadvantaged by like, background or whatever when you're trying to make social roles.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Social chameleon.
Oh, so it could be a thing that's like kind of like gut feeling.
Yeah.
Is you could ask the DM kind of questions about a certain, like if you're in a certain social setting, you could kind of ask the DM to give you a little insight like into what would allow you to fit in. And I don't know how to phrase that, but like kind of like what kind of character should I adopt for these people to like me? I don't know I'm not sure how we should write that.
Yeah.
But that's like a social chameleon type thing.
Yeah, because I was trying to think like a guy who can talk to a noble as an equal and a guy who can talk to a commoner without the commoner shitting himself is definitely a skill.
Yeah.
What are the skills that we have under influence? That's deception.
It's just the three.
Persuasion.
Perception or persuasion, intimidation, and lying.
I mean, it could be fast talker.
Okay.
You can say twice as many words in 6 seconds.
Okay.
Oh man, you can talk when it's not your turn.
Okay. That feels like full flavor, but
like if you're in combat and you're like trying to call out order, I guess that's not as useful if everybody goes on the same side, but still like in D&D, like if you could just have a rule that said I can talk when it's somebody else's turn and give people ideas.
Oh yeah.
I'd take that feat.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? I like the idea of feats that have defined power and implied usefulness. Like, I don't want one that is only implied power. Like, how well can you use it? I like the idea of it. Here's a real stat it gives you, but if you're creative,
you can get more.
You could do something else beyond it.
Yeah. Maybe it's like Baldur's Gate, where you can distract people with a speech.
Oh,
impromptu speech giving.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. Like, get up on a box and start ranting.
Yeah. Okay. I actually like this. I like this. Is cool.
Yeah. Can distract. You can call the attention of anybody who can hear you.
Yeah.
Provided nothing calls them away. Any disturbance is enough to break this effect, something like that.
Yeah. Okay, what should we call it? I know how I'm gonna describe it.
All right. I mean, extemporaneous speech.
I feel like we might have to define a limit other than all who can hear you, because I can just picture someone being like, all right, so I'm going to get like a thaumaturgy type spell, and we're going to develop like a megaphone so that I can entrance an entire city.
Yeah, it's...
you maybe... I'm just like picturing a speech.
We got to dial it in somehow, but...
Yeah.
I like that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, any loud noise or sufficient commotion is enough to break this effect.
Oh, yeah.
Extemporaneous.
Yeah, I have it written. Extemporaneous speech requires influence. You may begin a speech which people are compelled to listen to.
Yeah. The lore skills.
We've got a few of those already.
Right.
We got wilderness lore for like poultice.
All right.
So I think we just need street lore.
Street lore. All right.
And probably want something of not necessarily equivalent, but something in probably a similar power level to poultice.
Yeah.
As an idea. And poultice is quite effective.
Yeah.
And valuable.
I was thinking like fence or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
okay.
You know the signs for a shop that will buy stolen goods and don't ask questions, but that's kind of in street lore already.
Your street lore is gather information from people.
Yeah.
We have knowledge, human nature.
Sure.
So certain types of knowledge checks.
Yeah.
And then survival checks made in towns.
Okay. You don't have to spend any money when you're living in a town. Like, you can just subsist off things that exist in a city. You can sleep under roofs, ruffle through gutters.
Okay. I don't dislike that. But that does feel like one that potentially falls off.
Yeah.
In that, like, as you have money, how does that?
Yeah,
what is
it's
useful
not as
with
good
that?
Later.
Maybe something with avoiding law enforcement.
Oh, maybe it's you reduce crafting prices because you just know how to like gather up junk. Like, people throw good shit away all the time.
Okay.
Like dumpster diving, you can reduce crafting costs by X%.
Interesting. Okay. So it'd be like if you're in a same type of thing, as long as you're in a tier 2 city or above, you can reduce crafting costs.
Yeah. That may be too complicated.
Mm-hmm. It is a tough one.
Wilderness lore is poultice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the accelerate healing of a wound.
No, it's the one that you can ignore the effects.
Oh, ignore the effects of a wound. Okay.
Yeah.
I know a guy already. Oh, maybe we'll come back to that one. What's the other one we have?
I think that was the last one.
Was it not? Do we not have? Oh, we have the languages one for general lore, right?
Yeah, we have A rune lore, regular knowledge is language savant.
Yeah.
And then I guess we have internal compass, which it says memory required. I don't remember if the memory was a skill. I think it was.
Memory's
we were going to have a memory stat requirement.
Yeah.
Which we may change that since we dropped the strength requirement on the other. We may change internal compass.
Yeah, it just may be, I think it may be dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah, it may have a racial requirement instead of. What if street lore?
Yeah.
What if street lore had something to do with a street lore feat that would almost step on the toes though of like subterfuge or finesse, but it had to do with like accessing a city unnoticed or getting in a city.
Oh yeah. Like a lay low.
Yeah, that feels niche though.
Yeah.
That feels like it's a better thing to just let players have to role play.
Yeah.
And get through.
They don't want to give them too much.
Yeah.
That the DM would have to make the call on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what, because Street Lore just gives you stuff you know.
Yeah, it's not knowledge checks and survival checks.
Yeah, I think we're on the right track with that cost reduction thing, but I'm not sure.
All right, I'm just going to put down Street Lore feat.
Cool.
We'll figure it out
something
later.
Good later.
Yeah. All right, so I think that covers a lot of basic feats for us.
That'll give everybody something to pick whenever we start testing these out at tier 1.
Yes, that's going to handle early game. It's not probably enough feats if we're going to be doing 5 feats a level.
Yeah, per tier.
Which, who knows? We may
change that. Could be 3, could be 7.
Yeah, if we rework
all I know
skills.
is it's going to be as a prime number.
Yeah. All right, so we're good there. And the next things that we have, I think we're probably actually good for today.
All right.
But
That's pretty good talk.
Yeah, we want to talk. I know you want to too.
You want to talk about Warlock? We talk about that a lot.
Yeah, I want to talk about Warlock. And
I mean, we got to get into monsters anyway, and we might do those next episode if we feel like it.
Yeah, we got to do monsters. Monsters are a requirement to start playtesting.
Yeah, it's nobody just wants to fight other humans.
No.
That's not what people are here for.
No. Those fighting people is to spice up certain things. We gotta make monsters.
Yeah, fighting people is for when you piss off somebody in town.
Yeah. All right. So next time we will work on monsters.
Cool.
And maybe talk about how our really weird pact bound
Warlock thing
boon class is going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Dig it.
Catch y'all next time.
Signing off.